Yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How's it going? We got a party happening over here in the parking lot, and they're cranking up some music here, so I'm getting out of the music zone here. It's all good in the hood. I hope you're all having a great day, and hopefully you've had a great weekend. My girlfriend Dawn and I have had a phenomenal weekend. Let's see if YouTube has fixed the mirror imaging issue on the front-facing camera. I doubt it. I doubt it's been fixed. But let's see. Nope. See, it's still backwards. Still backwards. Oh well. Well, they've been communicating with me on Twitter X that I really don't use much anymore. But that's the best way to reach out to Team YouTube on Twitter X, Elon Musk's X. Elon Musk, who destroyed Twitter. God. I just don't even know what to say anymore. I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore, you know. I've never seen anything like, this administration that we're currently dealing with, Trump and Musk, who is in an unofficial government position. And it was purposefully set up that way by him and Trump because that way, Musk doesn't have to deal with all of the government bureaucracy at a greater level than he's already dealing with. But that doesn't mean he's not liable for his actions. And he's getting sued left and right. DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, is getting sued left and right. Trump is getting sued left and right. It's one big fucking mess. It's absolutely one big fucking mess. And it doesn't matter if you're on the left or the right or down the middle. This has nothing to do with your political party choice. This has to do with stupidity that's going on for all Americans. All Americans. I want to start up this show today, episode number 943. I'm navigating the modern world with Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition. And because today I'm going to be talking about, how the Maga conservative Trump supporters lack originality. It's the truth. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just stating the facts. I'm stating what I have seen. Because to many of you that haven't been involved on the YouTube scene for the last 7+ years as I have, to many of you that haven't been that involved, haven't seen much that directly relates to what's going on with Donald Trump and his administration, and why you're seeing a bunch of these MAGA Trump supporters just go along with whatever Trump wishes, whatever Trump puts out there. These MAGA Trump supporters will get down on their knees, right? And say, yes, dear Lord Messiah Donald J. Trump, you're the Lord, Savior, Messiah, and the master of our kingdom, of our universe. You're the master of our universe. Whatever you say, sir. You tell me to jump, I'll say how high. You tell me to jump off a bridge, for you, Lord, Savior, Messiah, Trump, I'll do whatever you say. I'll sacrifice myself for you, Lord Trump. That's exactly how it is. It's very clear it is that way. Why are us Democrats so quiet? Hey, Phil, how you doing? Well, because I'll tell you, I've dealt with it for 7 years on YouTube, Phil, and I'm glad you asked. Democrats are quiet because they're outnumbered by these MAGA Trump supporters, these MAGA conservatives, or conservatives in general. But see, here's the thing, Phil. I have conservative friends that don't like Trump. So there's three categories, in my opinion, right now, three major parties right now One unofficial, the MAGA Trump supporters, the actual conservatives that are non-MAGAs, and then you have the liberals. You also have the independent party. You also have, moderates and all that. I'm more down the middle. I'm slight left liberal Democrat, but I'm more down the middle. I'm sure you're down the middle too, right? But the reason why the Democrats or the non-MAGAs are so quiet is because they're outnumbered on the internet by the crazy, mentally ill, demented, deranged MAGAs. And these people, if you don't agree with them or if you try to challenge them, they will attack you not only online, but if you use your real name and show your face, they'll look into you and do stupid shit to you offline. They'll take it into real life because that's how mentally ill and deranged and demented these people are. I've been saying this for 7 years on YouTube, and yes, I've been attacked by people like this, and I'm still being attacked. I've learned to ignore it and learn how to deal with it, but most other people have seen it happen to people like me, and they're afraid to speak out because they don't want to go through what I went through. Does that make sense? And see, here's the thing, Phil. There's one group on YouTube amongst a few creators. I don't pay attention to them anymore. I'm sure they're watching me right now. I'm sure they're doing a rebroadcast. They can go fuck themselves for all I care. They can, because you see, the thing is, I'm their content. I'm the star of their show. My critical thought is way better than theirs. My entertainment value is way better than theirs. And I'm not even here trying to entertain people, but at least when I talk and present my stuff, it's not boring. And see, that's what these MAGAs do. That's what these conservatives do on and off of YouTube. Like, they have nothing original. They lack originality. They lack originality, and they steal from others because they got nothing. They steal from others. I'm going to share many examples here today on how these people steal from others, right? And we're going to keep calling them out. And if people want to keep stealing from me, if people want to, keep doing stupid shit because they lack originality and have nothing better to do, that's all good. But eventually karma will set in. Trust me, karma will set in for everyone that steals from the hard work of good people that create original stuff like I do. See, that's what these people do. And also, if you threaten to take them down for copyright, or you do, then they threaten to do other stupid shit, right? They threaten you, right? They threaten you. They steal your shit. And then if you try to take your shit back, they threaten you for trying to take back your own shit they stole initially. That's how demented and deranged and delusional and unreasonable these people are. And it's a lot of people. That's how pretty much the entire MAGA universe of people is. And Trump knows that. Trump knows the people that voted for him are mentally ill, they're deranged, they're demented, they're delusional. He knows that, and he preys on their vulnerabilities to get what he wants, which is to inflate his pocketbooks, along with the other rich people like Musk and Bezos and the rest of them, right? It's an oligarchy. You folks have heard of that. If you don't know what oligarchy is, just look it up. It's an authoritarian type of administration, not a democracy. And in Trump's eyes, okay, he's like, fuck Congress. I'm the boss. Whatever I say goes. I don't have to follow the Constitution. Like he posted on Truth Social, his own site yesterday. He was saying that, it is not against the law to do what's right for your country or something like that. I can't remember the exact words. He said something to the extent of, to save our country, There are no laws you can break to save your country or something like that. Phil says, I thought Bezos was on the Dem side, but I'm not 100% on it. All of these guys are Democrats, dude, even Trump. Trump, Musk, Bezos, and what's his face? Zuckerberg. They're all fucking Democrats. They are pretend conservatives, pretend conservatives, pretend Republicans. You know why? Because they would never, ever stand a chance to get into office running as a Democrat. Because the Democrats are smarter and know better than that, right? Donald Trump was once a Democrat and still, I think he is. Elon Musk supported Biden. And last night, News Nation did a special called Elon's America, where they interviewed his father from South Africa. And they were asking his father basically told Elon at a young age that he would never amount to anything. And then when he was questioned on that by Natasha Zubez, who was doing that show, and it's interesting, she used to be a local ABC 7 newscaster for our local station here in San Francisco, KGO, ABC 7, which is actually owned by the Walt Disney Company. Our local affiliate is owned by the Walt Disney Company. I know that because when there was a DirecTV issue, with Disney, it included ABC. And if the local affiliate is owned by ABC, they blacked it out too. Yeah, we got our local affiliate blacked out for 3 weeks, and then they finally handled that. But yeah, so shit, I don't even know. There's like a big truck here. Man, okay. We'll work our way around. Looks like a horse trailer over here. It's all good. Yeah, so she interviewed Musk's dad, and Musk's dad corrected her and said, well, you're taking me out of context. And you didn't add in there, I said, you will never amount to anything unless you put your head to it. And I was sitting there saying, you're fucking bullshitting us, Musk daddy. Musk's daddy is embarrassed at the way he treated his son. And now he's trying to basically correct himself and lie and cover up for him not having any faith in his own son, because his son became the most successful person on the planet. Now, Elon Musk has had visions, and having a vision is fantastic. I have nothing against Elon Musk's visions. I have nothing against Elon Musk's visions or him making money or whatever, right? But how he's going about making more money and now trying to become a more powerful person, and get more control just as a person, that's what upsets me about Musk. It's not about his vision. It's not about him, having made all this money. It's not about him creating, products that, have changed the world for the better, because some of his products have changed the world for the better. Other products he's made, I don't agree with, but a lot of them he's done well. I'm all for that. But Musk's dad was saying, I told Elon years ago that you're making a mistake supporting Biden. If you want to be a good businessman, you have to support Trump. Why? Elon Musk daddy? Is it because Trump's a fucking criminal and he'll bend over backwards to break the law for you and your son to make more money by taking that money from the middle class and the poor, by removing necessary programs that allow the rest of the people besides the rich oligarchs like you folks, that we depend on those programs to survive? And Natasha Zubez was sitting there being extremely nice. And, you know, News Nation's about being neutral, right? And I like the fact that News Nation is neutral down the middle. Like, they don't take sides. But when somebody's blatantly fucking lying to you, and you sit there like a good girl, Natasha, and you just smile and look all pretty and shit, and you don't call it out, then you're losing me. Then you're losing me, right? I would never bring someone on a show of mine here on YouTube or Facebook or wherever I do content that was going to try to BS me or not willing to answer, you know, just, you know, basic, average, everyday questions, right? In the end, what's right will always prevail. People that push the boundaries, people that, you know, take advantage of people in the wrong ways, it will always end up catching up to them. You know, I saw this YouTube video last night, this African-American YouTuber that made a lot of money about 5-6 years ago, basically reselling cable TV channels over IPTV, over the internet, right, for far cheaper than what you would pay the carriers. And the carriers get nothing like that. It's basically him pirating all these cable TV channels and then running his own servers to, you know, sell his service to people. First of all, he doesn't own the rights to any of that. Why would anyone even think doing that in the first place is legal or right? But this guy made a lot of money. And he was watched by the FBI, and they didn't do anything for a while, but eventually they finally took him down. Right? What gives people the right to believe that they can take any piece of content or anything that they don't own and make it theirs? Now, when it comes to fair use, under Section 107 of U.S. copyright law, you're allowed to do criticism and commentary like the news stations do on TV. But it doesn't give you the right to completely re-upload someone's full piece of content, even with commentary, because that takes away from the original. And that's exactly what these Magas do. That's a lot of these Magas, they lack originality. They lack perspective, they lack originality. So they steal from others. And then they have an audience of people that are as dumb as a rock, right? That will watch their content primarily because they're stealing someone else's content and poking fun at someone when they themselves, the creator, has more issues than you can imagine, right? This is what a lot of these MAGA conservatives do. They have no originality, so they steal, right? Just like on News Nation. Back to News Nation. News Nation's motto is news for all Americans. They're pretty down the middle usually. I didn't like how Natasha Zubes did that Elon Musk show. I think she was just too nice. She was just too nice. You know who I think should have run the Elon Musk special called Elon's America? I think it should have been Chris Cuomo. No disrespect to Natasha Zubes, but Chris Cuomo would have given that show more justice. This has nothing to do with Natasha being female. It has to do with the fact that Chris Cuomo was a better reporter than her. I'm not saying Natasha's not good. She is. But Chris Cuomo is the absolute best in the business at being reasonable and down the middle. There's no one better than Cuomo. People should have to use their real name on YouTube like I do. Well, Phil, I agree with you, but it's not going to happen. You know why? Because these people are pussies. They're big fucking pussies, Phil. That's what they are. They want to come out here and trash people in real time, right? They want to also pay people to trash people like me, like what's happened to me, right? And they want no repercussion for their actions, right? And then when I call these people out, like I have, and I'll keep doing it if I want to, they get really triggered and then they try to retaliate and go real life on you. That's what they do because they can't stand losing to someone that's a better debater than they are, someone that's a better, YouTuber than they are. And I'm not even trying to flex that. I'm just being me, being real. I'm not saying I'm all that, but I feel I have a lot more to offer this world than most of these people do, right? So, yeah, News Nation's motto, news for all Americans, right? Fox, during the Super Bowl, did a commercial, and they put Fox News for all Americans. And Chris Cuomo saw that, News Nation saw that, and they made their own response video. If you go to the News Nation YouTube channel, I highly recommend subscribing to the News Nation YouTube channel. Bang the bell, select on notifications. And look at their look at the first video that you see on their channel, the main highlighted video. It's a brief 30-second commercial where Chris Cuomo was saying, for all Americans, where did Fox News get that? They got that from us. The difference is we live by our word. In that commercial that Fox did, they didn't show any of their, journalists, any of their news reporters. When News Nation did their little commercial saying Fox News is using our slogan, but they're not living up to their word like we are here. They don't show any of their people in their video, but here's Chris Cuomo, Ashley Banfield, and there's some other people as well too. All the News Nation lineup of newscasters. There's another example of people on the right not being able to create anything original. So they steal it from someone else, right? And look, again, my 7 years of experience out here on YouTube, seeing the behavioral patterns of these Maga Trump supporters, these just very, very mentally ill, very demented people. You can't have a reasonable conversation with them. They're not capable of that because they don't have the capacity upstairs to do that. The only thing they have the capacity to do is get triggered when you call them out on the truth, like I'm doing right now. They get triggered every time, right? Getting triggered does not really take any brain power. Anyone can get triggered easily. It doesn't take critical thought or a lot of brain power to get triggered. So these people get triggered if the wind blows sideways for 2 seconds. They get triggered over, somebody breathing or stupid shit, right? And then these people are saying, oh, hey, you're not making sense with your postings here, regarding Trump and Musk on Facebook, and you're not making sense with what you're saying out here on YouTube. You're attacking us. This has no merit. No merit? Okay. Let's talk about Eric Adams, the New York mayor that is actually Democratic. He's been a disgrace to the Democratic Party because he broke the law. He broke the law and he was going to get prosecuted. But what happened? Donald Trump saw an opportunity. So Donald Trump says, okay, Eric, I'll pardon you from this shit as long as you come and work with us and help us with what we're trying to accomplish with immigration and ICE and all that, right? So what does Eric Adams do? He fucking folds. What does Trump do? So he pardons him, and basically the courts pardon him. They say pardon, dismiss the case without prejudice. That means it can be refiled at any time, right? So now they got Eric Adams by the balls. Now Trump's got Eric Adams, who's an African-American man, by the way. You got this big, bad bully Caucasian man in office. And then you got the African-American Democratic mayor in New York, Eric Adams, right? And he just bowed down to Donnie. Now, Eric, you made some very, very, very bad mistakes trying to push things through. But you know what? Trump loves criminals, so, he's like, okay, if this guy's going to try to do criminal shit like I do to pass things through, then he's the kind of guy we're looking for in our democracy, right? Or in our authoritarian type of government, right? Fuck democracy, doesn't exist anymore, right? Right? So they dismiss the case without prejudice. And if good old Eric doesn't do exactly what Donnie says, they can reopen that case. How can you Magas not see what's going on here? How can you not see this, right? And see, here's the thing. There are a lot of MAGA content creators, but the majority of them are not content creators. They like to hide in plain sight. Like Phil was saying here, they like to hide in plain sight, use fake accounts, and trash talk anything anyone on the other side says, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, right? I could sit there and show proof and evidence, and common sense would tell any normal human being something I'm saying is truthful, and these MAGAs just shoot it down. They go the complete opposite route on something that's blatantly, obviously true, right? They're like, oh, you just hate Trump, you're just a libtard, you're a liberal sack of shit, you're all this, right? That's their answer. That's the deflection that they always do. They cannot answer simple questions. They won't answer simple questions because answering those simple questions, they know, buries them, right? So they're thinking, I can just go around doing stupid shit, knowingly do stupid shit, stealing other people's shit, using it to profit off of other people at their expense. And as long as I deny that I'm not doing it when asked, then nothing will ever happen to me, right? You would think that doing illegal shit would speak for itself and eventually catch up with these people. A lot of times they get away with it. That's where I have a problem with it. And that's why I'm out here standing tall, not just for the Democrats or, the people down the middle, the moderates and independents, but for everyone. I want this to be fair for everyone. And right now, it's very one-sided. It's very lopsided. Is my comment showing about Adams? No. What did you say? Can you try to put that through again? We do have some blocked words here, Phil. So try to get it through. And if I don't respond to you within a minute or so, then for some reason it's not going through. But there is a 15-second slow mode also as well. Thank you so much to the 19/20 people that are here. Appreciate it. See, here's the thing. And again, I don't even care. I don't go around looking at what people are doing to me on YouTube, especially one group of people, right? But I'm sure they're doing stuff, right? And I'll just go out and say this once again to their audience. This is why people dislike you. This is why you guys are primarily Maga Trump supporters. So does it surprise me that you would follow other creators that constantly steal entire pieces of content from other creators, and then sell it to you, and then you pay them for that, and you're okay with that. But see, if that was done to you, you would not be okay with that. That makes you fucking hypocrites, and you are. And listen, if you want to watch me tell you that on someone else's simulcast of me, then that's fine. But I'm getting through to you, and you know it's true, and you know you're fucking hypocrites. You know you are. You're absolutely hypocrites. And more people on the left and down the middle are coming out here and combating this stupid shit that the right has been spewing on social media for the last 10 years. We're going to flip this thing around, and I'm going to be a big part of that. Alan W., since democracy just means the will of the political majority over the political minority. Democracy, dude, also means that we have the Constitution, and we have, Congress, and we're not in an authoritarian type of, we were never meant to be an authoritarian type of government here in the U.S. like Trump is running it. So there you go. But thank you for your comment. Your day will come too, sir. Your day will come. Do what you got to do. Your day will come. You, sir, are also a thief. And you have no originality. You lack originality. And it goes to more so prove that you need me to exist. And that's fine. Carry on. I'm not going to bother you. I don't even look at your shit anymore. But you know what? You're still invested in me, which means you like me, your audience likes me, and you folks would rather watch me than do your own thing. That speaks mountains right there. And I'm not trying to, blow up my head or anything, but it's just the truth, right? Carry on, dude. But you're not welcome to talk here. And neither are any of your people, because there is nothing to leverage from you. I'm looking to grow. I'm not looking to backtrack. There's nothing to take from you. No one, you got nobody you, and there's nothing to take. There's nothing to benefit. It's a one-way street for you and you only, just like fucking Trump. Right? That's why you like Trump. That's why you're a Trump suck-up like the rest of them. It's the truth of the matter. Sit there and laugh. Have a laugh with your audience. Say, hey, hit the PayPal, hit the fund, right? Yeah, it's all good, right? Same old shit, right? It's all about money, right? Why did the founding fathers throw tea into the sea? What kind of a question is that, dude? I'm not gonna even that dude that doesn't even deserve a response. You're making me lead to believe that you're trolling, dude, and that's cool. If you want to sit here and troll, that's fine. It doesn't matter. We tackle it head on. We're on lap number 2. I hope YouTube fixes the orientation issue soon. This happened 3 years ago, and I reached out to them, and they fixed it. I'll show you folks again what I mean over here. You'll see this U-Haul truck, and everything will be like flipped. It'll be like backwards, right? So you see this? See, that's backwards. That just started happening like last month, I heard. Because I was on Facebook for 6 weeks, and then I came back to YouTube, and it was doing that. So I've reached out to Team YouTube on Twitter X. They've acknowledged the issue, and hopefully they'll have a fix soon. It should be a simple update of the app. We'll see. It is ridiculous how many people have made money that lack originality. And then the original creators get fucked and make zero to little money, right? And that's happened to me. And that's one thing I'm going all out on to change this year. I promise you that will change. I promise you that will change as we get more and more Democrats and moderates and people on the other side to join the conversation on the internet, including out here on YouTube, right? Now, there are a lot of Democrats already on Facebook. I'm trying to get a lot of those people to come over here on YouTube. They're starting to come over here. And the more and more people that we get on YouTube from the left and down the middle that are not Magas, right? And start to contribute to the conversation, then we're going to have a fair and level playing field. Then the conservatives that have been doing all this stupid shit for years are going to be out of fucking business. They're not going to be able to do the shit they're doing because the playing field is going to be level, right? And all these conservatives have been doing, especially when they steal your content and have nothing, right? All they've been doing is weaponizing the fact that they outnumber everyone else on the internet, right? It's like when you go to war, right? Whoever's army is bigger is going to win, right? When you go to war, whoever's army is bigger, is going to win. Alan says, well, they say because of unchecked taxes, Phil, but I'm sure there were many other reasons. Yeah, but what does that matter right now? Are you guys talking about that wasn't the Boston Tea Party you're talking about, was it? I mean, all that stuff happened so long ago. How? Let me ask you this: how is that relevant to today in 2025? How's that relevant? I'm just curious to know. It's an honest question. I'm just being honest with you. LOL, what large armies get defeated all the time? If you have better weapons as a small army over a bigger army, then you could win because you have better weapons, right? I'm just saying this. Let's just take out the weapons. Forget about the weapons, the tanks, the bombs, the machine guns, all that shit, right? Let's just say this. You've got, 10 men at the same size, and then on the other side, you have 100 men of the exact same size and strength, okay? So if you have 10 men on one side that are the same size and strength, and then on the other side, you have 100 men that are exactly the same size and strength of each individual man on the other side, the 100 men are going to defeat the 10 men. Don't sit here and try to, try to just throw the opposite end of things, because that's what some people do. Some people just automatically default to giving the opposite answers or the opposite answer. That's a trick that a lot of conservatives do, and a lot of conservative content creators out here on YouTube. You ask them a reasonable question, and they deflect, and then they don't answer you, right? They deflect by not answering you. And then they start to character assassinate you when all you ever wanted was them to answer a simple question that they're not willing to answer because they know that answering that question would make them look bad and they would lose, right? And these are the types of people that I just don't associate with. There's no upside. There's just nothing to work with there. There's nothing to work with there. Happy Sunday, everyone. Hey, babe, how you doing? Respectfully, maturely, and professionally. Oh, I'll tell you this, babe. That piece of shit. I'll just say this. I don't care, because we're having fun. He came in here on a new account, and he's back to rebroadcasting me because he's got nothing else. But I don't care. He can go fuck himself for all I care. It's comical. It's all good. We still have 18 people here. That's all good. And then we're gonna build this because we actually have content here. Unlike him, he has no content. It's like we're talking about today. We're talking about the Maga conservatives that lack originality, and they have to steal from other people to have any type of traction or success in any way, including monetarily on the internet. It's fucking pathetic. It is. And it goes all hand in hand with the same methods that Donald Trump is using in office. That's why all these people love Trump, because they're just like fucking Trump. Like attracts like. That's the bottom line. These are all criminals. In my opinion, they're all criminals, and they've all made money stealing from other people. And they try to justify it by saying, oh, it's fair use section 107 under copyright law. Go fuck yourself in section 107, right? The thing is, the bottom line is, the laws are so fucked, right? This is why I don't care anymore. This is why I don't even touch these people. Let them do what they want to do. They're going to burn themselves, right? Eventually. This is the thing. If you sue someone for copyright, you can sue them now in the brand new small claims copyright court. Anyone you sue has 60 days to opt out. And they always opt out. So there's no point to doing it. So if you do that and they opt out, or if you don't do that, you could go and sue them in federal court. But in order to sue them in federal court, you have to have a filed copyright certificate with the United States Copyright Office. So if you don't have a copyright certificate on every goddamn video you create out here on YouTube, right? Like right now, how can I get a copyright certificate on a live stream that's happening live that's being stolen? I can't. They know that. They exploit that flaw. And they do it because they know the laws are fucking flawed. They are. They are. The laws are flawed. It's an exploitation in the law that certain creators, many of them, know it and they get away with it. So there's no point to anyone out there watching until the laws are changed, and maybe one day they will be. Not under the Trump administration, but maybe down the road they will be. We need to reform copyright laws for the internet. Okay? It's not worth filing a copyright strike on anyone. They'll file a counter notification and they'll win every time, claiming fair use, section 107 here in the US or whatever it is in your country, fair dealing, right? In other countries. And again, you can't sue them. If you sue them in small claims copyright court, they'll opt out. And then you can't sue them in a federal court unless you have a federally registered copyright certificate through the United States Copyright Office in advance before the copyright issue happens. So these live streams here, they can rebroadcast whatever. People can do whatever the fuck they want. Now you got to deal with YouTube. YouTube, if you reuse too much content outside of copyright law, they can remove you for violating their terms of service. So these creators here, while they may be able to get away with breaking the law like Donald Trump does on everything, right? They can't get away with reusing content, especially if they're a part of the YouTube partner program, because they'll be removed. Many of these people have been removed for reused content, right? It's the truth of the matter, and we're going to continue to call it out, and we're not going to stop. We're going to continue to call out the stupid shit, because in order for people to better their lives, in order to become a better person, whether you're a man or a woman, okay, you got to understand what's currently happening in our society. You got to understand what's going on in our society. It affects you. Give me a second. I will look at CD laser noise. I totally agree. What do you agree on? Phil says England lost against Scots in 1314. England had much bigger army. Well, maybe the Scots had, better ammunition, better bombs, better, maybe they had better equipment. Who knows? But see, dude, that doesn't matter. Listen, let's talk about the internet here. And when it comes to the internet, when it comes to most things, dude, there's strength in numbers. You've heard the phrase strength in numbers. The Golden State Warriors, I believe, still use that phrase, or at least they were using it years ago. Okay? So if you're a YouTuber and you've got a group of 100 people that are loyal to you, and they hate one creator. They collectively all hate one creator like me. And I only have 10 or 15 active people that like me, then I'm outnumbered, right? Then their voice is going to be louder than mine. Now, how do you turn that around? Number one, you ignore it, which I have. Number two, you can tackle it head on and call it out and say, fuck you. Keep doing what you're doing because it's not going to affect me. And that's effective too. As long as deep within your heart and soul, you're okay with it, you want to tackle it head on, that could even be more beneficial because then, other people are going to start to respect you more that have been watching this bullshit happen for a while, right? No, there was no gunpowder back then. Nope, not in 13, 14. So, I don't know. Maybe their men were weaker. Who knows? Maybe their men were very scrawny. I don't know, dude. But how is that relevant to what we're talking about here? How is that all relevant? The bottom line in most cases, okay, let me rephrase, dude, because you want to challenge every little damn thing. That's fine. Well, larger groups of people typically outnumber. They outnumber smaller groups of people. Common sense would tell you that something bigger is always going to be able to defeat something smaller. That's just common sense, man. Now there are exceptions to every rule, but you guys are acting like Magas right now. You guys want to challenge and twist every little word. Right? You want to challenge and twist every little word because I think you guys are trolling and I think I know where you're coming from. And if you're going to be that invested in my content, do what you got to do, but I'm just not going to pay much attention to stupid shit. It's stupid shit. I'm not going to pay much attention to stupid shit. Right? I don't care about what happened in the 1300s. Who cares about all that? Things have changed since then. Things have changed since then. We have modern technology, with bombs and with tanks. Machine guns and all that stuff. And we also have the internet. And again, especially on the internet, numbers trump everything. That's just the way it goes. All right. Yeah. All right. So I don't want to talk about this topic anymore. Okay? I'm not gonna address any of that past stuff. So I don't want to talk about it. You folks want to talk about it, do what you got to do. I'm just going to ignore it. Third and final lap. Okay, well, you know what? Here's the thing. You can go back to where you came from, Alan. You guys can go back over to where you came from and go back and watch the simulcast. And you see, what's more pathetic is you got people watching on a simulcast that desperately need me for their content. This motherfucker that tried to come in here and troll that's simulcasting right now. This motherfucker tried to email me when I left YouTube for an interview. You have some fucking nerve, dude. You think I was going to give you that? I'm not going to give you shit. I'm not. I can't control you if you want to simulcast me every day. You know, if you have nothing better to do than simulcast me, it's whatever, dude. It doesn't matter how long. I went away for 6 weeks. You came right back on it, dude. You came right back on it because you got nothing. Nothing, dude. You have nothing. And that's okay. You can spurg out on your on your rebroadcasts every night. It doesn't matter. It's not a whatever, dude. Spurg away, dude. Eventually, it's all going to implode. We got a lot of things we're working on here at the GNA network. Got a lot of content coming. If you want to spend every single day, all day, the rest of your life doing rebroadcasts to your pathetic audience of 30, 40 people, whatever, dude. But you're the perfect example of how Donald Trump is, right? You're just like Trump. You're a great example of that, so I can use you for an example, right? You want to use me for content? I'll use you as an example. I don't give a shit. Yeah, Phil, glad you're back on topic. You're the only one I didn't ban, Phil. I banned the other two because they came from a rebroadcast. They're plants to just try to amp up the show and make the show more exciting for the rebroadcaster to incite more donations, right? Right? Whatever. Incite away, dude. Just like Donald Trump incites insurrections, you incite donations off of my content. Donald Trump incites insurrections because he was a poor fucking loser the last time when he lost against Biden. Right? No fucking difference, man. Zero. So what do you want to say, Phil? Back on the topic of, it's not even about us against conservatives. I don't want to make it about that. I've never made it about us against conservatives. It's about left, right, left and right, and people down the middle being all reasonable. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, cry harder. You know, I'm not crying at all. I'm calling you out. You're a pathetic loser. You're a pathetic Maga, phony conservative that has no originality. You lack originality. You can't do what I do. If you could do what I do, then get your ass out of your house, grab a selfie stick and camera and nice microphone and headset, and do a walking stream. Walk 3.5 fucking miles, or I'm doing 3.75 miles a day. Walk almost 4 miles a day like I do, and talk. Instead of running your mouth anonymously on the internet, right? You are weak, you are pathetic, you are neurotic. Many of you are, and someone needs to call you out, and one of those people is going to be me. More and more people are coming out and taking back their part of the internet. I'm not here to take your internet away, MAGAs. I'm not here to take your internet away. I'm here to take my part back because you folks seem to want to control the whole fucking thing. And no, you don't. Nope, you don't. You see, a lot of Democrats and moderates, people down the middle, all we want to do is take our part back. We just want our fair share of the pie. Because you MAGAs have been taking the entire pie. And you haven't been willing to share. And you're not the type of people that want to share. And that makes you un-American, in my opinion. You see, these MAGAs, the people that do this kind of shit, are the most un-American people on the planet. These people are not Americans. Donald Trump is not an American. Elon Musk is not an American. Elon Musk sold out. Elon Musk sold his soul and converted from being a Democrat to a conservative because now it makes sense for him to double his money from the time that he invested almost $300 million in Trump's re-election campaign. And once Trump won, about a month later, Musk almost doubled his net worth. Musk gained over $200 billion. That's one hell of an investment. If you had that money, if you had $300 million and you knew you could turn $300 million into $200 billion in 1 month, would you do that? Fuck yeah, who wouldn't do that? But how does that come off? How does that come off? Now, Musk is a great innovator and he loves science, and that's all good. From the perspective of him having a purpose to create things that change the world, that's great. But when it comes to money, he's no different than Trump and the rest of them. He becomes fucking greedy as fuck and starts doing stupid shit, starts selling his own soul, and then starts to support somebody on the opposite party because his dad, Musk's dad, was telling him that, oh, you should be supporting Trump if you want to be a better businessman. Right? Musk starts to, buy into the authoritarian type of government because it's going to selfishly make him a ton more money while costing most other Americans either everything or putting them in a really bad situation. Imagine having a spare 300 million. Lots of unreasonable people in politics discussions. Of course. Do you know why they're unreasonable, Phil? Here's the thing. What do you think this is all about regarding Trump and Musk? It's about money. They don't care about politics. They don't care about fixing the U.S. or helping fix relations with the world. They care about lining their pocketbooks, right? And both Trump and Musk, in less than 1 month of being in office, have made tons of money, right? And Trump is the biggest fucking grifter. He's been emailing people and trying to get them to, become a part of my cabinet for only $39. You can be a part of my cabinet. Oh, yeah. Where does that $39 go to? Your pockets, right, Trump? So are you allowed to use the government and the presidency and say, if you want to be a part of my presidential cabinet, it's going to cost you $39. So in essence, you're selling out the fucking government, Trump. How can you folks not see this? Honestly, what logical explanation are you going to give me to challenge what I'm saying is wrong? What logical explanation could you give me? None. Here's the thing. I could open up a show. I've done this before. I've gone on other people's shows. Like this guy that's rebroadcasting me right now, I've gone on this show in the past. The reason why I don't go on his show anymore is because whenever I go on there and ask him a legitimate question, he deflects. And then turns things around and starts to character assassinate me because that's what his audience wants. He tries to get me on there, leading me to believe that we're going to have a fair conversation. And that's how it starts off. He's trying to get me to put my guard down. And then once he feels my guard is down, then he goes in for the kill, right? But I ask him questions. Right? Okay? I could ask him questions like, do you not have any other content to do? Well, then why don't you do it? Well, because you're more profitable. Okay? Does it make it right? I can do whatever I want. I just asked you a question. Does it make it right? I can do whatever I want. I don't have to answer that. I can do whatever I want. It's fair use. See, that's what they do. They deflect. They don't answer the question. I want to know yes or no. Does that make it right in your eyes? Right? So people like that are intentionally unreasonable, because if they reason with you, then they're out of business. Their audience stops supporting them, stops donating to them, and they got nothing. So they got to keep on playing this facade, right? And I mentioned this today because this is exactly what's happening in the Trump administration during the first almost 1 month of his second term. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And that's why I'm speaking out, because the more and more I speak out, I'm speaking out here on YouTube now. I've been speaking out on Facebook for the last month and a half, right? I'm going to start getting more active on Reddit. I'm going to start to speak out more, and we're going to rally up the troops, and we're going to get more and more liberals and people down the middle to join the conversation. And again, they've already started to join the conversation. But as we get more and more people, you're going to start to see the playing field level off. It has not been a fair playing field. I know it. I've lived it for the last 7 years. And then at that point, we're going to just take back everything these motherfuckers took from us for the last 7 to 10 years on the internet. We're going to take it all back. And here's the thing. I'm not going to have to put you out of business. I don't even want to put anyone out of business. You will put yourselves out of business. Trust me on that. You will put yourselves out of business, because when the playing field is leveled, right? Then your people in the audience are going to be dealing with the Democrats and other people coming at them, and they're not going to want to deal with the smoke just to support a creator that wants to trash talk another opposite party creator and rebroadcast all their shows, right? You'll see what happens. It's going to flip. And when it flips, I'm going to fucking laugh. And it's starting to get there already, right? It's all good. You know, I've learned. I don't like playing games. I don't like playing games. I keep it real. That's the biggest part of me regarding this whole thing. I like to keep it real and authentic. But I've also learned, if I'm going to make it out here on social media, I got to tackle things head on, and I got to call things out, and I got to just sit there and ignore stupid shit, ignore threats, ignore the stupid bullshit game these people have played for the last 7 to 10 years to take from me, to take everything from me. And that's exactly what Trump and Musk are trying to do. They're trying to take everything away from you and make it appear like they're giving you the world. You know, folks, in life, you can't take what people say at face value. You got to look at what people do. Actions speak louder than words. You know that. YouTube should make it illegal. Do you think the election was fair? Trump won the election fair and square. Absolutely, he won fair and square. The reason why he won is because the Democrats didn't show up on the internet. And also, Kamala Harris was more so focused on abortion rights than tackling the issues that Americans were really concerned with. Groceries, right? And the war. Now, Trump pretended to tackle it. Trump went public and vocal and said, on day one of my presidency, I will lower grocery prices and I will end the war in Ukraine. He hasn't done shit. But that's all he had to say to get elected. If Kamala Harris said that, she might have beat him. Additionally, the right-wingers, like I've been saying, have always had a bigger and stronger presence on the internet. And there are a few new left-wing and more down the road, middle of the road, creators that are creating more progressive type of content that are saying the same thing. They're saying the same thing. We are outnumbered on social media by a ton. And that's another reason why we lost the election. Look, when you got Trump with Truth Social, you've got Musk who owns Twitter X now. Those are two huge platforms right there, right? Especially X, Twitter, right? And now when you're turning around, you get to Zuckerberg, you get him to back off his fact checking, like on Facebook now. Oh my gosh, I've been posting stuff I would never have posted before. I've been posting shit saying, hey, fuck Trump and this and that, right? None of it gets removed. You know why? Because Trump basically, sucked in Zuckerberg. And Zuckerberg caved because Zuckerberg doesn't want to be fucked with during, the Trump administration. So, Facebook has really laxed on what they allow out there. So I'm like, okay, if you're going to let the Maga conservatives just say the most vile shit, then you know what? Guess what? I'll play, and I'll call you out, and I'll say exactly how I feel. And I don't care anymore. I don't care what people say or think about me, because we're all entitled to our opinions. We've all made mistakes. We've all said things we don't mean. But we've all also held back. And I'm not holding back anymore. See, can Maga deliver? What do you mean? Can Maga deliver what? I meant illegal to rebroadcast someone. When it comes to rebroadcasting someone, it all depends on how much content is used. It also depends on what the copyright owner allows you to do. Like I said, Alan, I believe that's you, right? Or sorry, it was Phil. Copyright law is flawed. Somebody rebroadcasting a live stream, yeah, I get a general copyright on that. And I can file a copyright takedown notice. Then the other side can file a counter notification, and then I have 10 business days to file a lawsuit, or the content will be reinstated and the copyright strike will be removed. So if I were to go to small claims copyright court and sue for the maximum, which I think is like $30,000, right, per incident, right? The person I'm suing has 60 days to opt out, which they will always opt out. And that would force me to sue them in a federal court. That's my only other option, right? But you can't sue someone in federal court unless you have an actual registered copyright certificate with the United States Copyright Office, which on a live stream that's currently happening, that can't happen. It takes like 3 months to get something registered on average, right? So there's a flaw in copyright law. These people exploit it, right? So there's really nothing you can do about it. But is it against YouTube's terms of service to reuse a lot of content, especially if you're monetized? Yeah. So they'll get popped by YouTube like they have. But then they get removed from the YouTube partner program, or their channels get shut down, and they're not supposed to ever come back once they lose the channel, but they keep coming back on unmonetized channels. And then they create their own outside links like PayPal and Venmo and Cash App, right? And Patreon and all that. So here's the thing, dude. You can sit there and try to fight a battle. You're not going to win, because the people that play this way have decided to be big pieces of shit. Chalk it up to them being a big piece of shit and move on with your day. That's all you can do. I've learned to move on. So I'm not worried about it. I'm just calling it out. And here's the thing, anyone that has any morals, values, and ethics would look at someone doing this and say, fuck them. You know what? That's just not right. The people that support creators like that, they have no morals, values, or fucking ethics. They don't even know what that is, right? And then you try to call them out on that, and they try to flip it on you. No, you have no morals, values, and ethics. I don't care what you think about me. You have no morals, values, and ethics when it comes to this situation. Hold on. All right, there we go. There we go. I needed to turn my front light on. Folks, start getting your final questions, comments, concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air in just a few minutes, less than 5 minutes. Yeah, later this week, my girlfriend Dawn and I, we want to do a show at some point. But later this week, I'm going to be doing a show from the studio. I'm going to be doing a show from the studio, and I'm going to be responding to comments from Facebook. There's a lot of stuff out there. There are a lot of comments on my Facebook. And right now on Facebook, I'm only posting to friends only. So it's not publicly available. I may start to publicly post on Facebook again. All right, hold on a second. Hold on. Actually, those are guys singing in the band, so that stuff is not copyrighted. I mean, I'm sure it's their own copyright, but... Oh, that party is still out here. Oh, man. Yeah, they're still playing music out there, so I'm going to come over here on the other side so I can avoid being close to the copyrighted music. And like I mentioned before, on YouTube, mobile live streams. This is only on mobile live streams, not on streams that are created from non-mobile or from the studio. You have incidental copyright protection. So, you know, if there's a little copyrighted music that's picked up in the background from mobile, it typically does not demonetize you. You won't get a copyright claim. Now, if you deliberately play something, even on mobile, for like a minute or 2 or 3, and it's in the forefront, yes, they'll probably get you for that. But for background stuff, typically on mobile, I heard this on the Creator Insider channel a few years back. I also heard that, you know, swearing won't necessarily demonetize you, but context does matter. And they even said that product manager Todd said, yeah, you know, the first 15 seconds, maybe to 30 seconds, you don't swear, but after that, you know, it's not gonna affect you. You know, of course, you don't want to use every second word, but, you know, if you say something, you know, every few minutes or every 5 minutes or so, you know, like an F-bomb, it's not gonna affect you. Well, we are at 78 minutes, an hour and 18 minutes, 15 people here. Do you think Trump might go to prison? He deserves to go to prison, but he probably won't. As long as he's in office. If Trump didn't win the election, he would have gone to jail. Either that or he would have paid massive fines. Trump had no choice but to win this election. I mean, he got convicted of 34 felonies, and then he was sentenced on those 34 felonies he was rightfully convicted on, and he was given no penalty, meaning no monetary penalty and no jail time. And the reason was because we can't have a president run the country from jail. Well, why fucking let a criminal run in the first place or rerun in the first place? That's how stupid our country is. I just don't understand that, right? And some of the MAGAs might say, well, Biden's a criminal and Hunter and all that. Listen, nobody's perfect. We've all made mistakes. And, every political figure has done something unethical, borderline illegal, or maybe a little bit illegal, right? But there's no one that's deliberately, constantly violated the law like Trump. No one like Trump. No one like Trump. 34 felonies. What other political figure do you know that was convicted of 34 felonies on one infraction? 34 felonies. Come on now, be reasonable. Let's be reasonable. I can reason with you and say, look, I don't agree with everything Biden did. As far as the Hunter Biden thing goes, yeah, that was wrong. Yeah, he pardoned his son. Sure, who wouldn't do that, right? I get that. I can come out and admit that. But you MAGAs are dealing with a criminal, 34 felonies. You're dealing with an insurrection inciter, a poor loser of the previous election, who basically incites in the insurrection at the Capitol building. The people that he incited to go there were massively attacking and beating up cops, like severely beating up cops, and then 4 years later, these people get pardoned by Trump? I mean, seriously, where is your moral stance on? I mean, do you have any morals, values, and ethics? I mean, these are legitimate questions that you ask MAGAs, and they find a way to say, well, they did their time, and, the sentence was really much harsher. So you MAGAs are okay with your people attacking the Capitol building, which in essence is attacking a direct attack on democracy. Like, seriously, do you have a fucking screw loose or what? Seriously, and I'm not trying to be mean. These are just legitimate questions, right? The Stormy Daniels case, right? Come on. The hush money? Come on. Do you folks forget? Did you forget about that? Do you think Trump is innocent? Give me a fucking break. Have you heard the stories of Trump when he was in high school and college and all that? The type of person he was? Come on. What more clear evidence is it going to take for you MAGAs to just see things realistically? Listen, left, right, down the middle, forget about our political parties. Let's look at what's realistically happening for once, right? Instead of having delusions of grandeur. These people are extremely delusional, right? And then you call them out. You call them out with facts, right? And in a reasonable, civil way. You try to have a civil conversation with them and reason with them on this. And you know what their comeback is when they know you're right? They call you a liberal sack of shit. They call you a libtard. Right? They call you all these names, right? And you know what those names mean to me? Fucking zero. They mean zilch, zip, nothing. Those names mean nothing. Nothing at all. All right, I got to get rolling. We're at 84 minutes, an hour and 24 minutes. 12 people here, 4 thumbs up. Please smash thumbs up. Please share this out. So later on this week, from the studio, at some point, I'll be doing about a 2-hour or so comment stream. And it's going to be at least 2 hours, maybe 3. Okay? And got a lot of comments to share with you folks from Facebook. Okay? Now, I'm going to take screenshots, and I'm going to basically redact names and stuff for the most part, because A lot of people on YouTube out here, want to reach out to my friends and cause shit. If you motherfuckers want to do that, do what you got to do. It's all good. Whatever you want to do, do what you got to do. I don't care anymore. Okay? It doesn't matter. But just know that every action you take, you're one step closer to karma biting you in the ass. With that being said, have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other. See you all tomorrow. Good night, everyone.